Hello dear aspirants, I am 𝐞𝐥𝐻𝐿, your mentor from Prepp IAS, and this is 7th February newspaper, and I am going to tell you all the must read and important articles from 7th February. Before I start today's articles, I want to tell you how to do it. Keep the syllabus of UPSC, mains and prelims both beside you when you're reading newspaper, and when I'm telling you which syllabus am I referring to with respect to the article, go and check in the syllabus. Just don't blindly believe me, okay? Go and look in the syllabus GS 1, 2, 3, 4, where are those syllabus mentioned, and read it from that point of view. Start forming your memory from GS syllabus point of view, okay? So let's start 7th February newspaper. So in front page, there's just a mention of article. So constitution articles are extremely important from UPSC point of view. Lot of them have been asked in 2024 prelims paper. So this article, though it's still right now ongoing, so when the culmination will happen, that will become more important from mains point of view. Currently it's important from prelims point of view. What was gross about the 12 bills kept pending for 3 years? Supreme Court says to Tamil Nadu governor. So here this article is talked about by the Justice Pardiwala. He's saying these bills were sent by the state legislature for consent to the governor under Article 200. Article 200. Go and look in your Bear Act or Constitution, wherever you have stuck in your newspaper. Article 200 of the Constitution of India. Okay, so what governor did? It sat on the article indefinitely. Instead of either considering it, instead of either signing it, instead of giving it consent or asking them to reconsider, it did not. It withheld the consent and it sat on it. Okay, so this is what the judge is criticizing. Okay, Article 200 you should know about it. Let's move to the next article. It comes in part 6, states. Okay, and in the next we'll directly reach the edit. No, there is a very nice so you can see this face and makeup. So we have art and culture in our syllabus, both prelims and mains. Okay, so here they are talking about 𝙤𝙤 theater and how male plays female characters and they paint themselves. Okay, so this is more important from prelims point of view. 𝙤𝙤 is a form of theater that relies on improvisation around a mythological narrative, and practitioners claim it has a history of at least 800 years of history is there. Okay, in Maharashtra's Sindhudurg district and northern Goa. So this 𝙤𝙤 theater is famous in the northern northern Goa and Maharashtra Sindhudurg district. Okay, and men have been playing the women's roles, and the plays are based on a lot of stories of 10 incarnations of the Hindu god Vishnu. So 10 incarnation of our Hindu god Vishnu. It plays the role of Matsya, the fish, Kurma, the tortoise, Varaha, the boar, Narsimha, the lion man, Vaman, dwarf, Rama from the Ramayana, Parshuram, Rama with an axe, Krishna and his brother Balram from Mahabharata, Buddha and Kalki. Okay, so these avatars of Vishnu are portrayed in this 𝙤𝙤 theater. Let's move to the next article. Editorial. So this is an article about Gaza, how Israel was formed, what was the story of Palestinians. If you want to read the story and what is happening, you can read this article, but I did not find it very important from UPSC point of view. Okay, so let's move to the next article. Crippling aid work, aid, that is helping people, right? So this comes under GS paper 2, effect of policies of developed country affecting India's interests. Okay, so what is happening? It is talking about USAID, which is United States Agency for International Development. So this was formed and this was established in 1961 as an independent agency under the Foreign Assistance Act, designed to provide global humanitarian and development aid. Okay, so US, since it was a superpower, it was taking a responsibility of helping the world wherever humanitarian issues are there. But recently, since Donald Trump has taken the power of president, a lot of things are coming in GS paper 2. Your syllabus will be filled with GS paper 2 articles and IR related articles. So he is withdrawing from international commitments, has he has been withdrawing from several, like WHO, Paris Accord. So this decision of going back, so they are trying to cancel the US aid also. Okay, so this decision will disrupt established global aid structures and have dire consequences for the millions who rely on US assistance for survival. So they are now taking their steps, then will not participate in US aid. So 90-day freeze on foreign assistance, and they are citing inefficiencies and ideological opposition to US aid. Okay, according to them, it misallocates fund and operates at odd with Trump's policies. Elon Musk is head of the Department of Government Efficiency. He labels US aid a viper's nest of radical left Marxists who hate America, right? So they think it's not a great thing. And what is the impact on India? While US aid's budget is only 0.4% of total US federal budget, not much for them, only 0.4%, but India has also been helped, and other countries has also been helped by. The agency has maintained a strong presence in India since the 1960s, supporting initiatives in education, immunization, HIV, TB prevention, polio eradication, and child health. So very important for India. Though direct financial aid to India has declined, but US aid contributions still amounted to over $150 million in latest fiscal year. $150 million. So India is also going to get affected. Okay, let's move to the next article. The saga of regulating India's thermal power emissions. So this comes under GS paper 3, conservation measures that we are trying to reduce pollution and things like that. So MOEFCC issued a notification amending the environment protection rules by pushing back the deadline for thermal plants to comply with sulfur dioxide emission norms by 3 years without any reasons being given. So what happened? MOEFCC had revised the emission norms in 2015. They had created some emission norms for Indian thermal plants by tightening the prevalent norms for particulate matter emissions and SO2. Okay, and these practices are very common in countries like Australia, China, and US. But Indian coal has generally low sulfur content. So what is this technology? It's very important from prelims point of view. What is this technology called which reduces sulfur from Indian coal while burning and they're providing thermal power? So this is called FGD, flue gas desulfurization technology for desulfurization of high sulfur coal. Okay, so this is an expensive technology. So this increases the cost of electricity for consumers ultimately, right? So they, so a lot of thermal plants avoided it, and these are the issues which is going on about it. Okay, so let's move to the next article. Yeah. So these data I have kept for some important data which is important from prelims and mains both point of view. So amount received by Indian climate finance. So GS paper 3, climate financing, conservation rules. So India has received in climate finance about $1.16 billion. $1.16 billion, okay, so far, till now, till date, okay. So $346 million were from Global Environment Facility. What is Global Environment Facility? Go and search, write in the comments. $803.9 million from the Green Climate Fund. Green Climate Fund, GCF. You should know what is GCF. And $16.86 million from the Adaptation Fund. And this all was happening through UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, which is popularly called UNFCCC. Okay. So there's another data which I think is very important. So there is a lot of pendency in judiciary cases. And another problem on top of that is central government is a major, it's also a litigant, major litigant. So number of pending cases where the central government is a party. So it comes under GS paper 2, judiciary issues. The central government is party in nearly 7 lakh cases pending across courts. And finance ministry is only litigants in nearly 2 lakh cases. So central government overall is litigant in 7 lakh cases. Okay. And the last data here, number of public grievances redressed in 2024. Now this comes under GS paper 2, governance, where you want to write positives, how governance has been done better in India, grievances, citizens grievance redressal has been addressed. So 28 lakh public grievances were redressed last year as per the Union Minister. As per on the CP grams. CP grams, what is the full form of CP grams? Centralized Public Grievance Redress and Monitoring System, an online mechanism that allows citizens to raise public grievances. What you should know what is CP grams and what it is used, and this data can be used in mains answers. CP grams can be asked in prelims question also. Let's move to the next article. again very important from constitution point of view, on the appointment of ad hoc judges to high courts. So what has happened, earlier there was a case in which Supreme Court restricted the ad hoc judges to only situations where there is pendency more than 20%. Okay, so what has recently happened, to address the growing backlog of criminal cases, there are a lot of criminal cases, right? Supreme Court has allowed high courts to appoint retired judges on ad hoc basis, and they can only hear criminal appeals as part of bench led by sitting judge. So they will not lead the bench, but they will be sitting. Okay, they will be on the bench, but it will be led by a sitting judge, not the retired or ad hoc judge. Okay, so in 𝘿𝙤𝙪 case, through its general secretary, so they have relaxed the rule of 𝘿𝙤𝙪 case through a new case, which limited such appointments to high court where judicial vacancies exceeded 20%. Okay, so Article 224A, through Article 224A, it is allowed for judiciary to keep the ad hoc judges, right? So Article 224A, introduced by the 15th Amendment Act in 1963, allows the appointment of retired judges to high courts on the ad hoc basis. This requires the consent of both the retired judge and President of India, and the judge will receive everything similar to a sitting high court judge, all allowances and benefits similar. Okay, so you should know these basic things. Okay, Article 224A you should know, and they are written, this 62 lakh pending cases are there across high court as per the National Judicial Data Grid. 18.2 are criminal, 44 lakh are civil. 62 lakh cases pending in high courts as per National Judicial Data Grid. Okay, so that's why they are trying to relax the rule, and so that even if ad hoc judges are coming more, it's fine, so that the pendency of cases reduces. Okay, let's move to the next article. Yeah, so this I have taken only from prelims point of view. Indian Air Force's Mirage 2000 crashes near Gwalior after system malfunctions. Pilots are safe. So where, which Mirage aircraft comes from which country or which company? So IAF operates 3 squadrons of the Mirage 2000 fighters manufactured by Dassault Aviation of France. Dassault Aviation of France. This comes from France. Okay, you should know this. Okay, let's go to the next article. So this you should know about Chabahar port, right? So Chabahar port, India was making, in India has invested since 2016 Iran's Chabahar port, so that we can connect to Central Asia without going to Pakistan, because Pakistan obstructs our movement to Central Asia, right? That's why Chabahar port was very important. But it is made in Iran, and US has issues with Iran, so it is stopping us to use our investments from Chabahar. So that may happen, right? So it again comes under GS paper 2, effect of politics of developed country affecting India. Okay, so President Donald Trump has again put an order which can impose sanctions on India for its investment in Iran's Chabahar port. Okay, and it is maximum economic pressure on the Iranian government that they're trying to do, right? And they want to cut off Iran's recourse to all funds. So you should know about Chabahar port. India has developed the Shahid Beheshti terminal at the Chabahar port under 2016 trilateral agreement with Iran and Afghanistan. We want to reach Afghanistan, right? Which we are not able to reach, right? So there are some few last actions that Mr. Trump has taken previously. Let's move to the next article. And we'll shift to the last article of science page. Yeah, so what ails India's massive diagnostic sector, putting labs under the lens? So this comes under GS paper 2, issues related to development and management of health sector. So labs are also very important. Until unless there are testing and things, how will you know what disease people are facing, right? So it's very important for health sector. So industry experts estimate that there are around 3 lakh labs across the country, right? So within the healthcare sector, diagnostic account for around 9% of the industry, okay, by the value. $860 billion in the financial year 2024. Its worth was $860 billion, and it's continued to grow. It may reach $127.5 billion by financial year 2028. Okay, so but what are the issues? Okay, India has highly fragmented market with many small unorganized lab. Okay, and they're not following standards. So very small, fragmented, not following rules. So it can have effect on diagnosis. Okay, so the lab has license, but the roles indicate host employees and doctors. Okay, and these licenses are also obtained in exchange for money. some issues with India's corruption, right? So a few government programs in certain states are going some way to address this. In January 2018, Telangana began the Telangana Diagnostics Program, T-Diagnostics, right? And 18 crore tests have been conducted benefiting 1 crore individuals, okay, which saves a lot of out-of-pocket expenses of citizens. Similar kind of program Kerala is also trying to bring, upgrading primary health centers to family health centers to provide range of services, including laboratory investigation. What is the name of the Kerala's program? 𝙤𝙤 Mission. 𝙤𝙤 Mission, okay. You should also know the act which is related to it, the Clinical Establishment Registration and Regulation Act 2010, which aims to bring all diagnostic centers and labs under its ambit. So if questions come about what are the health issues that India is facing, this is also one of the health issues that labs, so people write generally the same things, lack of doctors, lack of trained professionals. You can also write lack of diagnostic labs, and even if they are lack of regulation that labs are following, that is also an issue. The Clinical Act 2010 aims to bring all of them under its ambit with the registration with respective state councils as clinical establishment. And this act has been adopted by 12 states till now. Okay, so that's it for 7th February. Thank you.